All right. Welcome everyone to another live session. Today is November 20th, 2020. Happy Friday. We're back on the charts. We'll be going over the trades we took this week that we looked at, but more importantly, we'll be preparing for next week. So this week was pretty slow. We had a few key setups that we were waiting to enter. I just got an alert for one of them now, but quickly go over what we took this week. How things went, and so the main focus of the week was the dollar index. Figuring out where it goes. That's what we like to do. And so the dollar index, our target for the week was 92.19. This low right here. And we came very close yesterday, and then price gapped up. You can see there's a gap on the charts. It may be due to vaccine news, who knows, but there's an actual gap here. Since we gapped up, I'll actually show you yesterday's session. Here's what I said. Again, just based on this, on these candles, we're having some shooting stars, a lot of long wicks at the top. That's usually an indication that we're heading back down. So right, so we had price going back lower after this portion right here, and we were right about that. I just wish that this down move translated to activity in the majors, but it didn't really do much. And in the last day or so, we've been pretty consolidated with these 4-hour candles. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, the last day, we've just been consolidating for the dollar index. Now, usually when this happens near some support or just above support, it usually occurs before price jumps up. So going into next week, I have a bullish bias on the dollar. We also had some good core retail sales data, so that's also keeping it afloat. So from here, I think we'll retest this high next week. This high right here. 92.7 is the high we will retest next week. So it's pretty easy to understand the dollar index once you know how it moves. Pretty shocked we didn't touch this low, but I guess vaccines will do that for you. We came up here, we had a nice sell-off as expected. I think we'll go up to here for next week. That will be the move, and it might be a midweek move where we come up to here, and then Wednesday we sell back off again down to here. Okay, I'm still bearish on the dollar. If you look at the daily, that's one of the reasons why I said this move would occur down low. It's because long term we're bearish and we can't ignore that, right? So this is what happened with the dollar index. We came up to this high, had a nice rejection, sell off, and then things got a bit choppy since the election, which is understood, which is understandable, especially with recounts and all that. But long term, this was the next target right here. 91.81. This was the next target, and actually we have a long-term target as well, but for now these are our two targets. So 92.18 and then 91.89 for shorts. For that retracement into next week, I have a target of 92.7. So the trades we took this week, the yen. It's a nice short. We hit our first target, and then we stopped this out at break even for our remaining position. You can see here's the consolidation. This pretty much mimics the dollar index, where you start off the week with a sell-off, you have a gap up with the vaccine news, you have price coming back down, and then consolidating. So if you look at the weekly candle, it's pretty, it's an indecision candle, meaning there's a long wick at the top and bottom. It may not be equal, but what this tells me is there's no real direction just yet. If you look at the past 2 weeks for the dollar index, 1, 2, 3, we are not really going anywhere. We're pretty much flopping each week. So we had a bearish week, we had a bullish week, we had a bearish week. Next week we may have a bullish week. Again, I did say the dollar index may go to 92.7. So we're not seeing these trendier moves where we have a direction. Bit annoying, but there's a lot of factors into play: vaccine, election, lockdowns. Lockdown some places, lockdown other places. It's a mess. So I was really hopeful that we'd go lower for the dollar index. Go all the way down to this low down here. That's where I thought we'd go, especially after we broke this level. I really thought there was going to be some major volatility kick in, and we can come down right here. Now, Daily Effects had a similar bias as well. I really love their stuff. Let me try to find it. Here we go. So this is written yesterday, and they said that, let's go. USDN set to close out a bearish week as COVID drives safe haven bids. That is correct. That's why we're bullish on the yen. And now look, drops under 104 handle, and now eyes trendline support from March lows. Now if you look at the March low, that's our long-term target of this right here, right? This is what we marked. This is the March low we made during kind of the first phase of the pandemic. That's our long-term target, but we do need to clear this low first before we even think about that. So yeah, pretty uneventful for USD yen. It has all the ingredients to go short, but it's gonna mimic the dollar index to a stronger degree than other pairs. I mean, if you can quickly put this up, you see, right? It's very similar. That 4-hour short, push up, short. You know, very similar. Then we had Aussie yen, which are still in. So Aussie yen, we're in some drawdown, but I do think we'll go lower. We're just trying to create a new lower high before we head down lower. Again, this is a pair that probably should have played out on regular market conditions, but you know, it had other plans. Just looking at the 4-hour time, you can see why we're trying to go lower. We've come back in with this kind of trading range from this high to this low, and you can see, you know, we have various sell-offs. Sometimes we go 80% of the way there, all the way down to here. Other times we go 50% consolidate, then finish out the run to down here. So that's what we're hoping for. You know, maybe 40 to 50% of this move would have been fantastic. That's around 100 pips. So right now it's some drawdown. I'll let you guys know at the end of the day if we'll hold the trade. Most likely we will. We might close a position, a part of a position, and then just you know, go with the trade. I mean, the R2R is 3.21, so it was worth taking, especially since we were short for USD yen at the time. And then brings into the setups that we've been waiting for all week. For example, Euro NZD just became active now. Let's try to find it. Oh, here's one actually we're waiting for. So NZD yen we were waiting for as well. We were very lenient with this pair, where we ended off last week thinking about potential longs from here. But also, if price does clear this low, we'd go short. We have an alert at 71.450 that almost became active, but then jumped back up. Once again, it almost became active. Price jumped back up. And then yesterday, it came very close to being active, but never really touched it and went back up. So being patient, because the long-term trend is bearish, that I don't want to go against it. I don't like doing that, especially because these retracements can end at any point. Whereas when we go short, we know where the end target is, which is down here, right, the bottom of the range. If you look at the daily, you'll see this is what we have. A nice trading range, price went up, ran some stops, markets pushed back down, and I'm just waiting for the markets to clear that low to confirm we're headed lower, right? A classic running of stops and then going back in the other direction. So we're still waiting, and if you look at the markets right now, there is a gap up. Again, there's a lot of gaps this week. It may be just due to the vaccine news, because Pfizer came out with some data as well that says they're 95% effective too. When Moderna just started the week saying their vaccine is 95% effective too. So it's a huge battle, I guess. You know, some egos at play, but whatever. Markets are gapping up for some reason. But this is still a valid trade going into next week. Again, we just need the alert to be set on our charts to let us know when it happens. And too bad today's a Friday, but I'll show you the downside on this is crazy, right? We have this low to target, these lows down here. And this week's candle is one of the most bearish candles you ever see. If today stands as if this is the most bearish candle you'll see, where if you study carefully, there's no wick at the top or at the bottom. I know there's a small one at the bottom, but I think if we close that out, that's a really good sell indicator right here, because these candles are very rare. It basically tells you during the dominated, and to see this on the weekly is pretty good. So This could be a great trade for next week, right? Where we take a short for Euro NZD, and then in that case, we might have to take a long for NZD yen, which is fine, right? We have that play on our upper sleeve as well. So once we clear this low, we typically do head lower to this low, right? We clear this level, we do head lower to this low. All we're trying to do is replicate that here with current price action. That's a good level for next week. I actually wanted it for this week, but the alert came in this morning, so hands are tied in that case. So that's what we have for this week. I know it's been kind of slow, but at least we're making profits, and that's the main thing. A lot of the setups we're waiting for have still not determined the direction in either way, so we're not really missing out on much. There's the holidays are rolling around too, so volume will start to sort of die by the week as the week goes on. So we just have to be patient. The Forex market's not going anywhere, so we'll always have another trading week. Even though it may not seem like it, we will always have another day to trade. Recommendations, let me know so I can do them. I'll give you guys a few seconds since there's a delay between what I say and YouTube. Oh, that's a nice comment. That's a really nice comment. So someone said, first week of trading on a real account, spent the last 6 months studying Forex and practicing on a demo account. This week I made a profit of 374, and I'm so pleased my hard work paid off. Only 17. Wow, that is the perfect way to approach trading. That is fantastic. The earlier you start, the better. And looks like you already have some good habits. That is fantastic. Congrats. Very, very. All the props go your way. Euro and okay. Okay, no. Gold and GU. Okay. Gold and GU, that sounds fine. I think most of you know my bias on gold, but let's quickly go over gold. Oh, and this is my bias for gold, and it's been this way for I think 2 to 3 months. Let's see, since September. Yeah, almost 2 months. I'm waiting for 1845 to get cleared on the daily or weekly time frame to take this mega short all the way down to the lows we made back in March. Okay, near 1550. The reasoning is obviously on the higher time frame, you kind of see that the huge rally we had has died down. We're actually technically making lower highs on the smaller time frame. Another thing is, if you go to the daily time frame, you'll see that the last time we came down to potentially sell off, we created some lows here, right near 1845. Now, if you watch what price did, it ranged, right? It ranged, and once again, it came here, very close to 1845, but never broke. Pulled back up, came again to near 1845, never broke. So for some reason, it does not want to go to that level. But if it does, and if it breaks that level, I'm pretty convinced that we will head lower, right? And our first target will be this, this kind of resistance / swing low at 1790. Okay. You can see that was kind of the last swing low we made before price really launched up for I think 8 days straight, all the way up to the all-time high. So that's what I see for gold. I know I'm bearish on the dollar long term, but I think eventually, especially with the pressure of COVID over the winter, that gold will start to deteriorate, but not because of. I mean, I wouldn't say because of COVID. I might say because of the vaccines. COVID kind of ending, because right now in the winter, COVID's under pressure by all these vaccines that are coming out, and 95% success rate is pretty good because the typical flu shot you get every year is 30% effective. So to have a vaccine that's 95% effective will definitely put pressure on gold to go lower, right? The reason why gold really blasted off this year was because the dollar was weak and we had a pandemic. When you have uncertainty, the gold standard is going to do well. Countries are going to stockpile gold, and gold is going to shoot up. But now that we have a chance of going back to normal, maybe back in March, February, maybe as early as even late January where vaccines come out. Gold's going to be under pressure to come back down, right? And that I think, like I said this before, that if Biden wins in the short term, maybe the next few weeks, I'm going to be bearish on the dollar. But long term, I'm going to be bullish because Biden's not going to initiate as many trade wars. He's going to be working with the EU. He's going to be working with China, and all that. So I think that in turn will help this trade idea. So I'm not too entertained by the ranging in between, these levels. It's pretty much a headache to trade, to be honest with you. If you're a scalper, you may enjoy these conditions, but for me, I need 1845 to get broken. Or for longs, I need this high to get broken, which is at 1979. So I'm open to both the long and short scenarios, but I think the short is more promising. Mind you, I called gold to 2000 back in December 2019, almost a year ago, and that was before I knew about a pandemic. Where was that? That was right here. I said that gold will go to 2000, somewhere down here in December 2019. It's on our YouTube channel, and gold went to 2070. I didn't know there was a pandemic at the time. It was just based on simple technicals and fundamental analysis of the U.S. economy. And so, using that same approach, I do think we'll go lower. Even if you look at this monthly candle, what do you see? A nice inverted hammer or shooting star. So a lot of selling pressure is just a matter of time before we start dropping down. So that's my bias for gold, and it's a pretty neat swing setup. I mean, a 4.7 R2R, that's pretty good for gold. You can probably enter this trade and forget about it for a few weeks, even a few months, and just let it play out. But that's that for gold. Next is GU, I believe. GU. So GU, I'm glad this is still up, these rectangles. That's pretty much what GU has been doing, just ranging between these two levels. There was a short right here in the last month from this top resistance level. Now we're coming back up. I would be cautious about shorting now, just because, for example, the last time we sold off from here, we went all the way down, right? The last time we sold off, we went all the way down. This time we went maybe 50% of the way down, and then price come immediately back up. If you look at this monthly candle, it's a nice bullish hammer, which is usually a nice pullback candle. So I do think we will have bullish GU going into next week. We'll have a bullish stance on it. We would love for GU to clear this high we made back in August. Once it does that, that should, and you extend it over. Once it does that, clears these two highs, then we can start looking at a potential move like this, right? Simply replicate this move from here to here, all the way right here, okay? That's a possibility, right? That's all we're going to do. If we do get some major signs of rejection, like the shooting star, for example, bullish, bearish engulfing in this blue zone, we could take a short, which may look like this, which isn't a bad trade idea either way, right? Even if you target, for example, this, it's still a 2.0. If you target all the way down here, it's a 4.3. But I think based on what's price showing right now, we may have a bullish GU. It does look like it wants to push higher, so we shall see. Again, I'm bullish on the dollar next week, so therefore they should head back lower. If it does, we'll have a trade idea then as well. But you never know what can happen over the weekend. Again, lockdowns can be reintroduced, lifted, a new vaccine comes out. A lot of variables that aren't on a fundamental schedule, such as Forex Factory, are in play, right? And there's no way to tell unless you do insider trading, but we don't do that. So you just have to wait for Monday's session. We'll talk about all these things again, but have this level marked down. If you do trade the weekends, I don't usually do it, actually never do it, but if you do trade the weekends, mark this level down, 1.35 thousand, a nice psychological level for GU, and see what price does once we get there. If we do break above, then maybe Monday evening, Tuesday London session, we can enter the trade and see if it could take us back up to 1.43600. All right, and that's these highs up here, which we made back in February of 2018. So that's what we have. Any other recommendations, let me know. All right, awesome. So, if you enjoyed today's session and you want to join the rest of our sessions, it's very easy to do. We go live 2 to 3 times a day. We have smart money trading, which is institutional trading, which kind of focusing on market makers, trading order blocks, liquidity voids. It's a institutional way of trading. And then we offer price action, which is a common form of trading, my variation of that strategy. So we do 2 to 3 live sessions a day. And on top of that, we add around 5 to 7 signal providers. So not only can you learn, but you can also earn at the same time. Now, if you really enjoyed today's live session, and you want to join, we have a really nice promo for new members. All you have to do is go to our website, go to Forex Trading Room, click Get Started, fill out this form and click Next, and then at the bottom you will see Enter a coupon code. If you enter this coupon code, first 50, first 50, you will get 50% off your first month. So instead of $147 for your first month, it will be $73.50 for your first month, and you will get 2 to 3 live sessions a day, 5 to 7 signal providers, and all of our educational content, our courses, and all that. It's a pretty good deal, so try this out. Hopefully I see some new faces on Monday. If you're interested in any longer-term deals, such as our 3-month or yearly plan, just give us a message on live chat, and our live chat agent will be happy to help you. All right, so I hope you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully I see some new faces on Monday. Take care, and I'll